Now let's take care of actually making the player a little bit stronger when you level up and adding in some other cool stuff. So next, we're going to need to increase some of our variables up here. So to do this, let's go ahead and create some modifying variables. So we're going to want to up the projectile speed. So we're going to create another variable under here and just call it public float projectile speed bonus and set it by default to half the original value, 5. We're going to want to enhance the firing rate, but remember, firing rate, we don't want to make it go up. We want to make your ship fire faster. Firing rate is what happens when you hold space button. So if you increase the value, it's going to mean you're going to shoot less lasers per second. So we actually want to decrease that value. And I already played around with this, so I kind of figured out a good number. And I'm just going to set it to negative. Make sure it's negative 0.005F. Again, feel free to play around with these values. I'm just saying I've already kind of done that ahead of time, so to save time in this video. And public float health bonus, by default we're going to just increase those by 50. And of course we can always change these around in the inspector. And we're also going to need, sorry, losing my train of thought. I think that might be good for now. So let's go ahead here and up those values whenever we level up. Okay. So we're going to change our projectile speed and just say projectile speed is equal to projectile speed bonus. Do the same thing here for firing rate plus equals firing rate bonus. And we already have a max health, so we're going to need to say our max health plus equals our health bonus. And just to make sure our health actually recovers full, because I think if you level up, your health should go back to full, we're going to say health is equal to max health. And then we're going to have to change some things in the health bar script as well. So let's hop on over to that one too. Just go here into the health bar, open up that script and make sure that it can recognize what happens when we actually level up. Okay, so in our health bar script, if you remember, we have to set the health over here to tell it that the health is up to full. And in this case here, we also had this if statement to do with setting the maximum health. And we only handle this if the max health is actually increasing, which it is in this case. So this variable is set to false at the earlier in the game. But now we're just going to go over here and say health bar dot setting max health is equal to true, and health bar dot set health, and we're going to pass through the health so it actually knows what our health bonus is. So one more time, we can take a look and just make sure that this is all working. I can't play. There we go. Health is recovering. And let's see. I'm max level now, so it says player's max level in the console. You can see I'm losing far less health when I'm getting hit by lasers, which is good, because apparently I really need that to happen. So that is cool. Now, one last thing, actually two last things we want to do. I want the player's sprite to also change when it levels up, and I want the player's laser sprite to change. So let's add a couple more arrays over here, and we're just going to call this public sprite player ship array. And actually, you know what? We will probably change the player's laser through the projectile script itself. So in this case, I'm going to just go onto the player ship. And if you can see, I've already dragged in a bunch of additional player ships just to save some time, because I know this video is getting kind of long. And so again, I'm just going to make this a size of 6. And I'm going to drag in a different sprite for every level up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm doing this in no particular order that makes sense. I'm sure you can make it look a lot more logical and better. And the player laser script. So go ahead and open the projectile script, because we're going to need to play around with that one too. So in here, we're just going to do same thing, public sprite, player laser array, and we are going to do a public void in the player laser array. We're going to call it update laser, laser ER color, and we're going to take in the current level because we're going to need that reference. And I'm going to leave that blank for now because we're going to look after actually updating the player ship first. So let's go back over to the player controller where it is. And now under the start method, we're going to add a reference. Okay, so if we go back down to our handle level ups, under the this method here, we can now update the player sprite, and we can say this dot, sorry, not game object, this dot get component, and we're going to get the sprite renderer. Close that off, use a couple of brackets, and we're going to say dot sprite is equal to the player ship array at position current level, but not the current level, because if you remember, the first time this is going to be happening, the current level is already being incremented. Unless actually, I was going to say current level -1, but if we actually just cut this and put it above where we level up the current level, this should work. And before we test this out, just to save some time, we're also going to update the laser at the same time. So we're looking for void fire, where we fire the lasers. Fire. Void fire, there it is. So under void fire, we're going to be taking this game object we just instantiated, the beam, and we're going to say beam.getComponent, and we're going to say we're going to get the projectile script. Projectile, there we are. And now we're going to call that method we created called update laser color, and we're going to pass through the current level. And if we go into the projectile script, now we can quickly fill this out, and we can say a very similar method to what we just did and say this dot get component sprite renderer dot sprite is equal to player laser array at the current level, and this time we are going to have to say -1. Okay, let's test that out. And if it's working properly, actually wait, I didn't actually update the player laser prefab, did I? No, I did not, so it will not work properly until I do this. But again, I already dragged in some different laser sprites to save time, so I'm just going to quickly drop these on here. Make sure if you create arrays, you actually put things in them, or else your code may break. Oops. Oops. And obviously I did do something wrong. Array index is out of range. So let's take a look. This dot component. Okay, so basically what's happening is the first time I'm passing through a laser, I am telling it to do current level -1, but our current level by default is 0, so I'm telling it to look at position 0, 1 in the array index, which obviously is not a real number. So we're just going to put an if statement in here, and we're going to say if current level is not equal to 0, then we can change the sprite. This is the importance of testing. Now let's give it a try. Good. Oh, changed again. Changed again. Take it all the way up. And there we go. My max level, my lasers are more powerful. And now I know it's working, so I could change these numbers to make them higher. I'm going to leave them, I might change them after. I'm just going to leave them as they are now, because I might need them to be low for when we update the enemy's levels. I also apologize for how long this video is getting. But one last thing I want to do is just add a UI text element that's actually going to tell us what level we are. So I'm just going to quickly go to UI, create a text element, and we're going to just say ship level is equal to 0 out of 6. And we're going to change the font style, the size. We're going to make this box bigger so we can actually see it. I'll change the color to something that's a little nicer to look at. And I'm going to very quickly put a script on here. I'm going to call the script ship level. We'll be neat and tidy. Drag this one into our scripts folder. Should drag that health pack script into our scripts folder as well. Okay, it's not, but I won't worry about that later. Open up this ship level script. Up here in the top, we're going to say using Unity engine.ui, because we're going to be dealing with text. We're going to say private text. And now we're going to say text is equal to get component text. And we're going to create another void, and we're going to call this void, actually it's not a void, it's a public void, update ship level, and we're going to take in int current level, and we're just going to say text.text is equal to ship level space quotation mark plus current level plus out of 6. We'll save that, and now we'll go back to the player controller script and go private ship level. I could do this all in one line down below, but it might get a little too cluttered that way. So we're just going to get a reference to our ship level. And here under start, we are going to say ship level equals game object dot find object of type ship level. In here under handle level ups, we're just going to go ship level dot update ship level, and we're going to pass through the current level. That should be good, and we'll go test it out, except it gives me an error. So if I double click it, it takes me to where the error is, and I had an extra closing bracket here because I didn't actually have an opening bracket. And let's just test that out now. Make sure everything works. And it updates, tells us what our ship level is. Perfect. 56. And there we go. Our level up system works perfectly. I apologize for how long this video got. Probably the longest one I've done yet. So if you have any questions whatsoever, if I didn't make anything clear, please let me know. And I will see you in the next video.